The town of Rambouillet, a simple French village filled with bioluminescence. Excuse me, je m'excuse. You said what is in Rambouillet? It's glass tubes filled with algae that are glowing. That's cool. Bioluminescent algae are illuminating the streets of a gorgeous village in France called Rambouillet. Hi, this is Futurey. We're in a time vortex from the 2120s. We're remembering the next 100 years. We're going to talk about a cool little thing called bioluminescence. You may be familiar with this phenomenon. You've probably seen it. 76% of deep sea creatures have some kind of inherent built-in lighting system, like the dangly things in front of their enormous, terrifying jaws. It's evolved as a quality in marine fish, a staggering independent 27 times. That's amazing, and it suggests very strongly that when we meet alien flora and fauna, some of them will be bioluminescent, because that's just too many times to be a quirk or an accident. You can see why it would tend to happen, because it's quite useful, obviously. If you're a creature in a planet where it's dark sometimes, on a planet where it's dark sometimes, you might want to illuminate your surroundings, just like ancient hunters have done in India, hunting in the jungle with glowing fungi, or miners have done with bottles filled with glowworms, or Aristotle did by putting fireflies in a jar in 350 and calling cold light, because all the light at the time was just burny stuff, which was not easy to carry always, dripping goat fat on your hand or whatever. So, in Rambouillet, they have an installation of a bioluminescence in glass jars filled with salt water and algae producing light. They run air and nutrients through these jars, and when they need to turn them off, they just stop the air and the algae goes into a chill state of anaerobic suspension. This work is being done by a company called Glowy, with 2 E's, delightful, which is working in places around the world, I think as many as 40 countries, as reported by the BBC Future, who did excellent work on this. I'll put their thing in the place because they rock. They've also got competition in the form of Light Bio, another company that's examining luminescence. And you've got really 3 main avenues to think about how bioluminescence might inform future design principles. One is you can put actual bioluminescent organisms in these storage containers. Maybe they're bricks in a building, maybe they're just glass tubes instead of a light bulb, maybe they're on the bottom of your sneakers, right? And you can throw nutrients and air through them and jiggle them around, and those organisms will produce light. They've got a little ways to go in the Glowy program. They're only at about 15 lumens per meter squared, which they reckon they've got to get up to about 25 to meet just, standard public safety rules. For reference, a standard indoor light bulb is going to throw about like 111 lumens per meter squared in spotlight form on the floor. So they've got to get up about 7 times more juice in their bioluminescence. But there are 2 other cool ways you could do it. One is you could extract enzymes like luciferase from these glowy organisms, and you could use that as kind of a natural glow stick. Glow sticks are quite toxic. You wouldn't want to recycle or eat them, or even break them on your clothes. It's fairly nasty. Not recommended. But if you broke one that had luciferase, you could be a little more chill about it. It's not as scary a substance, and it's naturally produced. So you got that. If you're not throwing off the hazardous chemicals in the production pipeline. Then third, you could do what Keith Wood did in the early 90s and take a gene from a firefly, say, and put it in a plant and create a bioluminescent organism that was never bioluminescent before. So that's kind of my personal favorite, but all 3 of those things are going to expand in the latter part of the 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s to the point that you've got a bunch of new tech available. So one is building materials, the storage of bioluminescence expands, it becomes easier, and they get it to be brighter. 2 is you can just extract these enzymes, use them as really cool paint, for example. People, you could like spray paint actual bioluminescence onto whatever object you want. And 3, and this is the coolest one, is you can genetically modify organisms to glow themselves. So you can expect that some people in The transhuman community will start doing stuff like this in the later 20th century, like in the 2050s-ish. Glowing hair, for example, glowing bits of skin, glowing tattoos, glowing eyes, glowing other bits, whatever, you feel like glowing up, you can. And in public spaces, what that's going to mean is you can have glowing buildings, you could have glowing walkways, and excitingly in parks, you could turn on all the plants so that at night, as the dusk settles in, the bushes can come alive with an ethereal glow and the trees can cast an almost holy sheen amongst the shadows to encourage us all to walk in the light. Hope you're feeling glowy by all this info, and that you get inspired to either glow something up scientifically or shake a glow stick, or just take a moment to glow yourself. Future up. Bye.